This is a First Alert 5 weather alert.
And welcome back, everyone. Now, yesterday it was all about that record-setting heat. We talked about that heading into that last commercial break, but we also began to see the atmosphere get a little more animated, and that's going to be the case today with a much more active day of weather. Strong to severe storms possible for the I-25 corridor, but the biggest threats today will be out east, especially north of Highway 50. That's where we could see a few isolated tornadoes later this afternoon into early this evening, as well as large hail up to 2 inches in diameter, wind gust up around 70 miles per hour. Before we time out those storms and look ahead to that Sunday forecast, let's get you out the doors. We start the weekend on a warm and muggy note. No need for the light layer today, but the rain jacket, the umbrella, the sunglasses, all something that should be in your backpack or in the back of the car before you head out the door for the day. 70 degrees right now as we look at conditions in Monument, 71 in Pueblo, already up to 77 in Canyon City and 59 the current temperature in Woodland Park. This graphic here shows dew point temperatures. This is a good assessment of how much moisture we're dealing with here in the atmosphere. And when we see numbers above 40, that's pretty good for us here in southern Colorado. Whereas when we see these numbers above 50 and approaching 60, that means the atmosphere is ripe, it's juicy, and we're sort of setting the stage for what could be a very active day of weather, especially into the high plains. Part of the reason for that is this cold front that swept through the area early this morning, and we have an incoming upper level disturbance already bringing some rain showers into northwestern parts of the state this morning. As that system approaches from the west, we'll start to get some more showers approaching our central mountain ranges and Rampart Range as we head towards the lunch hour. Storms start to become a little more numerous and widespread between about 1 and 3. And look what happens here. This line of storms that forms just east of I-25 will congeal together. See how it bows out? That's a good indicator from that model that could produce some very gusty winds and could have some circulation contained within that line. And that's why we think there could be a few weaker short-lived tornadoes today north of Highway 50. But severe threats also up and down the I-25 corridor and even into the southeast plains. That's just the target area where I think conditions could be a little worse than the rest. Then on Sunday, latest models backing off a little bit on how early that rain gets here. So that could be a good thing for some of those festivals going on like the Pride Parade and Festival. I think the rain should hold off until early in the afternoon with the model now indicating some pretty stormy conditions as we head towards Sunday night. So again, a lot going on this weekend. This is the Pikes Peak Apex race forecast. Taking off in about 15 minutes in Canyon City. We're at 75 around start time. Tomorrow we're back in the Springs with temperatures in the low 60s at 8 a.m. And here's a look at that Pikes Peak Pride Parade forecast. Tomorrow in the Springs will be down to the 70s for a high. Slight chance of a shower in the morning, but building chances for thunderstorms and showers into the late afternoon. Highs today will be slightly cooler, down about 10 degrees from yesterday, but it's going to be so much more muggy that you might not notice a big difference. So 85 today, a high of 74 on Sunday with those thunderstorm chances. They'll be up around 70% by mid to late afternoon and up around 60% as early as 3 p.m. Monday could be pretty wet even in the morning hours, and then drier air begins to punch in towards the middle of next week. For Pueblo, with that active weather, we cool things down to the 70s by Monday, 80s on Tuesday, but back up near triple digits towards the middle of next week. Canyon City, I've got 80s through the weekend, 70s on Monday, 90s next Wednesday and Thursday. And in Woodland Park, showers and storms, pretty much the rule of thumb into early next week, drying out by Wednesday.